ang Baguio area and ang bishop ay si Bishop Victorio, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 annual conferences. The Central Luzon Philippines Annual Conference, or CELPAC, the 100 Islands Annual Conference. May Philippines yan. HIPAC, 100 Islands Philippines Annual Conference, which is in Pangasinan. The North Central Philippines Annual Conference, which is in Isabela. The Northeast Luzon Philippines Annual Conference is also in Isabela. The Northeast Philippines Annual Conference is in Nueva Vizcaya and Quirino. Northern Philippines Annual Conference is Cagayan. Northwest Philippines Annual Conference is Ilocos and Eastern Pangasinan. And the Pangasinan Philippines Annual Conference is Central Pangasinan. And then Tarlac Philippines Annual Conference is Southern Tarlac. Okay? In the Davao Episcopal area, we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 annual conferences, and these are Bicol, Philippines Provisional Annual Conference, which is of course in Bicol. East Mindanao Philippines Annual Conference, which includes Davao. The Mindanao Philippines Annual Conference is Cotabato. The Northwest Mindanao Philippines Annual Conference is in Cagayan de Oro. And Visayas Philippines Annual Conference includes Cebu and Western Visayas. Now, in the Manila Episcopal area, the bishop is Bishop Ciriaco Francisco. Ito marami. I think we have kind of 11 annual conferences. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Bulacan Philippines Annual Conference, of course, that speaks for itself. Middle Philippines Annual Conference is Southern Nueva Ecija and Middle Nueva Ecija and Aurora. Palawan Philippines Annual Conference is, of course, Palawan. Pampanga Annual Conference is the province of Pampanga. Philippines Annual Conference Cavite is the province of Cavite. Quezon City Philippines Annual Conference is Quezon City. Rizal Philippines Annual Conference is Rizal. South Nueva Ecija Philippines Annual Conference is South Nueva Ecija. Southern Tagalog Philippines Annual Conference is TP-PACE is Laguna. Southwest Philippines Annual Conference is Mindoro, and West Middle Philippines Annual Conference is Zambales and Bataan. Okay. So this as you see, there are many Episcopal areas under one bishop. Like I said, in the USA, usually one bishop per annual conference. So that's why this gave birth to these Episcopal areas. No? Yung Episcopal area is a body not so much mentioned in the book of discipline because it's a structure that was created under the Philippine Central Conference, if only for bishops to have their kind of territories, no? Hindi lang isang annual conference, kundi maraming annual conference. So now the Episcopal areas, I requested here to give us an overview of what the Episcopal area office is like. Dahil this seems not to be taken up in the book of discipline. So here, meron bang ano dyan ng ito yung Baguio Episcopal area website. So the Baguio Episcopal area under the leadership of Bishop Victorio has, of course, its goals and mission. We can take a look at that. And our goals and mission statement, okay? our tagline for 2017, okay, Mega Bea 2020. Mega stands for Ministry Excelling and Goal Achieving. Ministry Excelling and Goal Achieving, reminiscent of the 2016 vision statement. So therefore, go now. Yung now is nurture, outreach, and witness. UMC mission nurtures, we mentor disciples and equip leaders. And then UMC mission reaches out, we serve beyond the four walls of the church. And UMC mission witnesses, we proclaim the gospel of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Okay? The SEED, okay, ministries as the Bea paradigm is understanding the four areas of focus, no, which take their inspiration from the explanation of our Lord Jesus Christ, the parable of the sower. Seed means S, strengthening UMC congregations, and establishing new communities of faith. E, empowering churches and communities for abundant health. Okay. E, engaging in ministries with the poor and human rights victims and in programs to protect the environment. And D, disciple making for principled Christian leaders. Okay? Sige, baba mo, Kier. Yan, yun yung ano. Okay? Ayan. Kilala nyo naman siguro si Bishop Victorio. May mga events ba? Ano yung our community? Okay. So, may overview ba here ng mga annual conferences? Yan. Yan. So, ito yung cabinet ni Bishop Torio. I think this is still the present cabinet. And these are, of course, the annual conferences na nire-represent nila. Okay. This is at Baguio City First, UMC. Yung staff ng BEA. Okay, ito yung staff ng BEA. Si Ma'am Joyce is research coordinator. And then the executive secretary, we know her, Miss Rachel Raw. And then our finance officer is Miss Hilda Rada. Okay. And of course, you know, our communications officer is Brother Kier Ocampo. Our utility officer is Rosalita Lopez. And our driver is Chester Viernes. Okay? Yung Disaster Management Office, andyan si Myra Yesan, Pauline Aduro Bakungan, and Rimizel Karanay. Okay? O DMO officer pala. Okay.
Doc, may additional po tayo. Just give me 1 quick second. Dito po sa staff. Ito po kasing sa website natin, dahil medyo matrabaho po ang pag-i-edit nito, hindi ko pa siya napapalitan. Pero let me download another thing. Hold on.
Surprise, surprise. Alam niyo, nung sa mga lay speaking at seminars, maganda na ito na-attendan nila dahil to structure to and polity of the church. So yung mga ang tawag doon, ACOS BICOS, mga basic course of studies and advanced course of studies, no? It would be nice if they attend our Saturday sessions, because these are actually geared for them, for you who are still candidates to the ministry, or those who are in the process. Here, this is you have Dr. Rodel Akdal as the administrative assistant, since he was appointed when Bishop Pittorio was on medical leave, and of course you see me there as a curriculum specialist, yung naka-pink. Hindi po ako Lenny. Anyway, so this is the full staff of the BEA, and it's good to see everyone here. Of course, as you see, we have our own, each of us has his own area of specialty, and which we do as our job description. Okay. Now, meron bang directory ng mga DSS?
Yes, Doc. Sige po.
Here, may picture sila eh.
Unahin po natin ang Central Luzon.
Okay.
So para ang kompleto po na directory ay BEA lang po itong makikita ninyo.
Oh, syempre, dahil BEA naman po ang position natin. Okay, so Central Luzon is Reverend Abondio Sabado of the West Central Luzon District, Reverend Noel Alfonso of the Northeast Central Luzon District, which is based in Muñoz, I think. And then Reverend Nixon B. Ischoco from East Central Luzon District, Reverend Eduardo S. Sales, Central Luzon District. These are former UMYF leaders in their youth. Okay. And then we go to 100 Islands, Philippines Annual Conference. We have only one district superintendent there, is this Reverend Edgar Cahigas of Pangasinan West District. Okay. North Central Philippines Annual Conference. The district superintendent is Reverend Dr. Ike B. Pama and Reverend Nora C. Conte. Isabela Central Mountain Province pala. Reverend Dr. Pama, and then si Reverend Nora Conte is Isabela North District. Okay. Then we go to Northeast Luzon, no? Philippines Annual Conference, which is NELPAC. There are two DSS, Reverend Edgardo Dordulo, Isabela South, Ifugao East, no, San Mateo District. Okay, and Reverend Lolita S. Domingo, okay, Isabela Southeast or Ichage District. Okay. So may woman DS that. And this is NEPAC, which is Nueva Vizcaya. We have Reverend Baligi Lorenzana, a supervisor.
Doc, we're sorry. Ito, si Reverend Baligi Lorenzana po, dati siyang supervising elder ng Metro Santiago District. Pero ngayon po, ang official na district superintendent natin ay si Reverend Dr. Rodel Layugan po.
Okay. Reverend Dr. Rodel Layugan, tama. Metro Santiago District. And then, bago din, si Reverend Conchita G. Martinez is the new superintendent of Quirino District. And then Reverend Joel Domingo is the district superintendent of North Nueva Ecija, Ifugao West District. And Reverend Rene Jones T. Dugay, the district superintendent of South Nueva Vizcaya District. Okay. Ang gagwapo. Ang gaganda. Now, impact. Okay. Northern Philippine Shalom Conference is, of course, Cagayan. We have Reverend Rexon Puerto sa North Cagayan, Apayao District. Oh. Reverend Abraham G. Javier, Southwest Cagayan, Kalinga, Apayao District. The Reverend Florentino C. Mina. And then Reverend Excelsis A. Biteng. Okay. The South Cagayan District si Reverend Mina, and Northeast Cagayan si Reverend Excelsis A. Biteng. Siya ba ang head of cabinet?
Dean. Opo.
Dean of the cabinet. Okay. Oh, this is Northwest Philippines Annual Conference. Okay, my home conference. We have 5 DSS here. Reverend Joel Q. Bengbeng of the Ilocos South District. Reverend Cristito A. Vidad Jr. of the Ilocos North District. Okay, the Reverend Edgar Jojo S. Santong of Southeast Pangasinan District. Reverend Judy W. Sanchez is the Superintendent of Northeast Pangasinan District. And then we have, anim pala ka. Reverend Rodel M. Huipolito of the Northern Ilocos Mission District, and Reverend Jerry P. Dalig is the Supervising Elder of Cordillera Mission District. Hindi ba siya DS ngayon?
Na-promote na po. Opo. Naibalik na, reinstate na po siya as district superintendent.
Yes. Okay. So, is that it? Mayroon pa, Pangasinan. Interlock. Okay, this is the Pangasinan. We have 2 district superintendents, Reverend Dr. Antonio C. Garson Jr. of the Pangasinan Central District, and Reverend Emmanuel A. Diso of the Pangasinan Central East District. Okay. And then we go to Tarlac. Home conference ni Brother Kier. Okay, the TARPAC. Okay, the DSSR, Reverend Dr. Domingo T. Vidad of East Tarlac District, Reverend Elmer S. Victoria of the Aita People's District. Okay, then Reverend Jesus Bundok of the Metro Tarlac District. Reverend Romel I. de la Cruz of the Central Tarlac District. Okay. Then Reverend Dr. Celestino Cancio of South Tarlac District, and Reverend Dr. Emmanuel D. Bangasan of the Integrated West Tarlac District. Okay, so TARPAC has 6 district superintendents. Now, I think we will go now to the annual conference. Okay. When you hear the term annual conference, It could be referring to any one of three things. The annual conference is a regional body, it's an organizational unit, and a yearly meeting. Many of these yearly meetings happen in the US in May and June. Sa atin, in the Philippines, our annual conference, usually they start in February, March, April, May, and June, no? Because we have so many annual conferences. As a regional body, the annual conference, sometimes referred to as regional, conference is described by the church's constitution and other parts of the book of discipline as the basic unit of the church. See, the annual conference is the basic unit of the church. In the United States, an annual conference may cover an entire state, only part of a state, or even parts of two or more states. There are also three missionary conferences in the United States which rely upon the denomination as a whole for funding. The United States has 54 annual conferences supervised by bishops in 46 Episcopal areas. Okay, now there are 75 annual conferences in Africa, Europe, and the Philippines, which are supervised by 20 bishops. So we have 46 bishops in the US, active bishops, and 20 active bishops in the central conferences. Okay? So, kasama na dyan yung tatlong bishops natin. As an organizational body in the US, the annual conference has a central office and professional staff that coordinate and conduct ministry and business of the conference. No? Sa atin, we really don't have that. I think we have more the Episcopal area office. It likely has a director of connectional ministries, treasurer, directors of programs such as camping, communications director, and other staff as deemed appropriate for the annual conference and as required by the Book of Discipline. Clergy and laypersons may also serve on conference boards, commissions, and committees. Okay, mamaya tinan natin yung conference boards, commissions, and committees. So there is, well, by definition, annual conference sessions are held once a year. Each year, an equal number of clergy members and lay members attend their annual conference session for worship, fellowship, to conduct the business of the conference, no, which may last 3 to 5 days. No? Medyo nagiging dalawa pa nga yung iba, pero usually an annual conference lasts 3 days, 3 to 5 days. These sessions include reports of past and ongoing work, adoption of future goals, programs and budgets, ordination of clergy members as deacons and elders, and election of delegates to jurisdictional and general conferences every 4 years. The bishop presides over these meetings. Okay? Okay. Why your church needs annual conference reports, no? Because of course we send our pastor, we send our lay delegates, and then we send our deaconesses also to the annual conference, and the annual conference bodies, program agencies, and organizations report to the annual conference. Reading second-hand reports from business session of annual conference may be the ideal sleep aid. The endless streams of motions, petitions, amendments are far from the hymns and sermons associated with the experience of the church. Because of the sometimes dry and political nature, leaders may avoid talking with members about an annual conference. Yet, it's important in the life of the church and needs to be reported. These tips will help you do that in a way that conveys importance without prompting yon. Ang sinasabi niya rito, if you are delegate to an annual conference, it is incumbent upon you to make a report to your local church, no? about what happened in the annual conference, because of course the legislations of annual conferences affect directly the life of local churches. Okay, number one rule: avoid sharing everything at once. The fire hose summary approach may seem efficient, but it misses the opportunities that annual conference offers. Create a communication plan that spreads information over time, before, during, and after the event, through multiple channels, from the pulpit, through engaging Facebook posts, the bulletin or e-newsletter, and memorable emails. As you develop your plan, consider what information is best announced by the pastor or lay member during a worship service, and what can be shared on the church website or in the e-newsletter. Alam nyo, ang pinaka-big news sa mga annual conferences, kung nalipat ba yung pastor nyo o na-retain. Yan. Ganon din sa diaconisa, kung naripat o na-retain o nag-withdraw. Ganon. Yun yung mga, usually yung mga personal changes. Yan ang big news after annual conference. Okay? Next page. Yan. To aid your congregation in following the annual conference session itself, use the avenues above to share the official social profiles for the meeting along with the hashtags for the event. Encourage people to follow these on Twitter and or Facebook to see the conversations happening around the event. Hindi ko alam kung ila-live stream mga annual conferences, because I hear that, sa bagay, hindi ko alam kung face-to-face ngayon dahil bumaba na yung mga alert level. Okay, remember the main things. It may be tempting to leave out boring news that seems too political or business-oriented. Leaving out such news may imply that the annual conference meeting lacks purpose. So look over the agenda and note the main items to be covered. For example, this year annual conferences around the world will elect delegates to the 2020 General Conference. Hindi na yun totoo kasi na-elect na sila actually, but the meeting of the General Conference is postponed to 2024. No? Okay, the commission and ordained new clergy, maganda yan i-share, mga bagong ordained elder, deacons, and new deaconesses. Each matter is worthy of prayer during worship services in the weeks leading up to your annual conference. Doing that invites members to see the annual conference meeting anew through a purpose-filled spiritual lens. Okay, number two, note compelling narratives during annual conference. No? Ito yung mga drama na nangyayari sa annual conference. Okay, pakita sa here. Business communicated without narrative can come across as dry and uninspiring. But make notes about the stories of the conference, moments of passionate debate, and stories of effective ministry celebrated with awards or in committee reports. As you communicate about this and budgets, tell the stories of new church stars, powerful justice ministries, and passionate youth delegates. So share mo yung mga yon kung merong na-organize na sinanggap na local church, mga ganyan. Mga ilan ang bagong mga pastor, mga candidates to ministry. Yun. And so these are very touching moments doon sa annual conference. Number three, share what you learned through the teaching elements. Teaching during annual conference ranges from morning Bible studies to full days of seminars or other training. Sharing what you learned during these sessions can demonstrate how the meeting directly benefits your congregation. Pwede nyo actually share yung mga sermons ni Bishop, mga inspirational address, mga yan. If there was a Bible study, consider doing a lesson or sermon series on the same passage, making certain to cite annual conference as the source of your new insights. Use information gained in seminars or workshops as the basis of training for your members. So yan, may mga edification lectures and Bible studies during annual conference, and it's nice for you to share them. Then number 4, underline the connectional nature of the United Methodist Church. In this divided season in the life of the United Methodist denomination, it's important to use moments like annual conference to highlight all the good work that happens in our connectional church. Okay? Next page. Making statements like we can do more together than we can do on our own, or look at the impact we can have when we come together, can go a long way to help people see beyond any division to the power of the connection. Putting these steps into action, whether you choose to make a video, send an email, or make several announcements on Sunday, will serve your church family well, as communicating about your annual conference is essential. Conversations about annual conference present a powerful opportunity to share what God is doing all around you and through your connection with the United Methodist churches in your region. Totoo naman, no? Totoong nakakabore ng umupo ng buong annual conference session, but there are moments that are really inspiring and encouraging in annual conferences. Okay?
Anong next, Doc?
Yung annual conference organization. Alam ko marami sa inyo, of course, no, for those who are full members and also are regular members of the annual conference as lay leaders, you know all about annual conference because you really attended and your experiences firsthand. Mabuti sa mga candidates to the ministry and the local pastors ngayon because they really allowed to sit, no, on the annual conference sessions, no. Nung kami, observers lang kami, halos wala kami mauupuan sa conference bar. No? But here it's good. Now, we want to know the structure of the annual conferences for us to effectively participate in it. Okay? So, the annual conference are composed of clergy and lay members. The clergy membership shall compose of deacons, and deacons, elders in full connection, provisional members, associate members, and local pastors under appointment. The lay membership shall consist of professing lay members elected by each church, of the diaconal ministers, the active deaconesses, and home missioners under Episcopal appointment within the bounds of the annual conference. Okay, so yun ang membership. So this one includes the organization president of the United Methodist Women, the conference president of the UFM, the conference lay leader, the district lay leader, the conference director of lay servant ministries, conference secretary of global ministries, no, the president or equivalent of the conference young adult organization, the president of the youth or the UMYF, the chair of the annual conference college student organization, and one young person between the ages of 12 and 17, one young person between the ages of 18 and 30 from each district to be selected in such a manner as may be dalawa na youth age and young adult age from the annual conferences. Okay? So yan yung membership ng annual conference. Okay, pupunta tayo sa organization. Okay, sige, yan. Pupunta tayo structure. Sige pa, iyak. Taas. Yan yung mga boundaries. Sige, baba mo. Hindi natin teritoryo yan. Hindi yan. Next yan. Pag-uusapan natin next week yung district conference and charge conference.
Doc, ano po yung hinahanap natin? Yung organizational?
Yung mga yung mga antag doon, structures like yung board of discipleship, yung mga yung connection na yung yan yung officers. Ito yung pag kung saan yung annual conference yan yun. Pero yung COM, connectional, ito yung mga committees yan. Okay, each annual conference is responsible to guide the mission and ministry of the United Methodist Church within its boundaries. Okay? Sige, baba mo muna. Sige pa. Ayan. It is recommended that each annual conference have a director of connection and ministries or designated person to focus and guide the mission and ministry of the United Methodist Church within the annual conference. The director may be lay or clergy. The director shall serve as an officer of the conference and shall sit with the cabinet when the cabinet considers matters relating to coordination, implementation, or administration of the conference program. Okay, so meron tayong director of connectional ministries in the annual conference. Okay? Sige, baba. Ito yung trabaho ng connectional ministries. Okay? And then, there shall be an annual conference or Episcopal Area Director of Communications. Ito si Sir Kier Ocampo, no? Itong Episcopal Area Director of Communications or designated person to focus and guide the communication ministry of the church within the annual conference or Episcopal area. Oh, ito yung trabaho ni Sir Kier. Okay, babo muna. Next. And it is recommended that the director or designated person be a part of the extended cabinet, to provide advice and counsel concerning communication strategies relating to conference program, apportionment, benevolence interpretation, crisis management, and other matters as the cabinet and director may determine. Okay, ito na yung hinahanap natin, mga agencies. These are the agencies of the annual conference. Sige, baba mo. Here.
Sandali lang, Doc.
Apa.
Nawala eh. Conference.
Yung mga BOD.
Saan napunta yun? Nasaan na?
Yan, isa yan. Yung Conference Board of Church and Society. Yan. The Conference Board of Church and Society. Now, to provide for the functions of this ministry and maintain the connectional relationship with the General Board of Church and Society. Yan. Okay. Sige, baba mo pa, Kier.
Others na po ito eh. So,
Oo.
po. Check natin
Yung
sa
mga
taas.
talagang ano.
Talagang napakalawak po ng simbahan natin, no?
Oo.
Very structured.
Doon tayo magaling sa structure.
Sobrang dami niyan.
Pero yung mga basic, yun yung board of discipleship, yung mga boards.
Isa lang ba ang structure noon, Pastor? Yung sa annual conference? O nagbabari yan depende sa annual conference?
May basic structure pero mayroong mga pwedeng gawin na adjustments ng annual conference depende dun sa size nila. Kasi may mga annual conferences na kagaya ng HIPAC, isang district, isang annual conference. Siyempre, maraming adjustments yan. Pero may mga basic na boards, no? Like yung na under the Director of Correctional Ministries, may mga boards na hindi pwedeng mawala. Kaya lang, kagaya ng Board of the Ordained Ministry, dapat lahat yan na annual conference mayroon. No?
Yeah, basic yun, basic yun.
Tsaka yung Board of Discipleship, kasi nandun lahat halos yung mga mga ministries, no? Yan yung Board of the Ordained Ministry, no? Of course, because they process all the annual conference membership of clergy, no? Whether and then also the ordinations. Okay?
So, ayan, yung nasa screen. Simulan ko na pong i-scroll na.
Nahanap mo yung iba here?
So far po, ayan po yung title niya, Conference Agencies.
Okay.
Paragraph
So,
610.
sige, baba natin. Makita mo natin. Ayan. Ito mga functions to eh. Function. Sige, baba mo. O yan. Yan. So ito very important. The Conference Council on Finance and Administration. Ito yung nagdi-determine ng budget ng annual conference, and that has to be approved in the annual conference session. Basic ito. Hindi pwedeng mawala that the CFA, because it's the one that determines the budget of the annual conference during the year. Okay? Sige, next. Next year. Sunod na yung mga yan. Pang trabaho na nila yan eh. Yung pati clergy support pala, tama. Kasama yung clergy support. CFA pa rin yan. Yan, special agencies.
CFA pa rin po ito. Ang haba pala.
Yan yung audit. Yan yung treasurer, conference treasurer. Yan. Okay, mga special ano yan, benevolences, world service, mga ano yan, mga contributions ng church. Ayan, yan, yung pastoral, ano yan?
Pastoral support po, under pa
Pastoral
rin po ito
support,
ng ano.
under pa rin ng CFA. Pastoral
Opo.
support, under pa rin ng CFA.
Ano, may compensation, payment obligation, CFA pa rin po ito. Ito na nga po. Other conference agencies.
Okay, yung Conference Board of Church and Society, no, nakita natin yung kanina. Tapos, yan, ito yung conference. This is a very important one, the Conference Board of Discipleship. The annual conference shall organize a board of discipleship or the other equivalent structure to provide for these functions. Ibaba mo ng konti. Yan, general responsibility niya to lead and assist the congregations, no, in the effort to communicate and celebrate the redeeming love of Jesus Christ. Ito yung B, ito yun, it includes just ministries. Ito, importante ito. What are those parang work or commissions under the Board of Discipleship? One, Christian education, no, and small group ministries, camping, retreat, and outdoor activities, evangelism, stewardship, worship, lay development, Christian spiritual formation and devotional life, the age level, lifespan, and family life ministries, leadership, education, and such other areas of work as the annual conference determines. So makikita nyo na Board of Discipleship is a very important in the structure of the annual conference. Okay? Halos din lahat yung mga ministries. Yan yung area of Christian education. Sige, baba mo. So, yan. Area of Christian education, tapos next, baba mo here. And then, responsibilities in the area of worship. Yeah, Christian education and then worship. So yung worship committee is under the Board of Discipleship. Okay, and then, ito, area of stewardship. Yan. So yung campaign for funds and tithing and funding, yan, sa area of stewardship. Okay. And then we go to area of spiritual formation, no? Ito ay very important to na area spiritual formation. Conduct training and seminars in the areas of private and corporate prayer and also of the use of the upper room disciplines. Okay, taas mo here. Then the board of the laity. Okay, there shall be in every conference a board of laity. Ito ay ni-represent doon to conference lay leader, yung mga presidents of lay organizations, no? Yan, the Conference Board of Laity. Then, nandyan yung men, women, and dyan sa lay organizations. And then there's a committee on lay servant ministries. To very important to, no? And every annual conference is encouraged to create a conference committee on lay servant ministries. Ngayon kasi malakas yung impetus, no? Yung lay servant na ministries ng church ay naging mga kasangkapan ng iglesia sa pag-mission. Okay? Next. The report area of laity. Yan, ito na yun. Kanina natin, nakita natin ng mga organizations ng lay. And then, ito yung Conference Committee on Ethnic Local Concerns. Yan, ito optional yan. No? But sa mga conferences na maraming mga tribo, mga ethnic concerns, importante itong committee ito. Okay? Siguro sa Tarlac, yung Aita People's District, meron kasi sila ng gano'n. Okay? And then the Conference Board of Global Ministries. Hindi ito nabibigyan masyado ng emphasis, pero this board coordinates with the General Board of Global Ministries. Okay? Next. Here, sige pa. Sige pa. Ayan. Ito, Conference Board, importante ito sa anong conference? Conference Board of Higher Education and Campus Ministry. Kasi it coordinate, no? May mga campus chaplains tayo, may mga schools, marami tayong schools. And this board and coordinates the work of the Board of Higher Education and Campus Ministry. No? Remember that Methodism started in college campus. So, dapat bigyan natin ng pansin, ng mga malaking pansin ng ating higher education and campus ministry. Okay. Sige, taas pa here. Nakita nyo na talagang pag-aralan natin. Ito, Conference Board of the Ordained Ministry. Like I said earlier, ito ay napaka-importante na board. No? Kasi ito yung nagre-recruit, nagpo-process ng mga magiging magagawa ng ating iglesia at nagre-recommend din sa pagka-ordain. No? Of course, this is also its katuwang ministry, yung deaconess service. Okay? Ito yung Administrative Review Committee. Ito isa sa mga optional na mga ito kasi tinitingnan niya yung mga i-recommend na yung mga retirement, involuntary retirement, administrative location. Yan, ito mga medyo ano yan. It is connected to yung mga issues of church conference membership. Okay, this one is the Committee on Episcopacy. No, it looks at how the bishop is working in the annual conference. So this committee parang oversees the work of the bishop in the annual conference. Okay. Again, next. Yan, the Episcopal function. Ayun, tinitingnan nila. Now, ito, Conference Board of Pensions. No? Very important yan. Kasi yan yung tinitingnan nila, yung compliance natin doon sa mga requirements ng Central Conference Board of Pensions, of course, and health benefits. No? Madalas dito tayo nagkukulang yung ating sa Board of Pensions na responsibilities. Okay? Next. No, of course, it goes without saying na gusto kong magkakopya kayo ng ng Book of Discipline kasi nandito lahat. Nandito lahat. Okay?
I can share again the soft copy sa ating pong sa inyong mga emails and to your annual conference.
That would be great. That here. Oh, that would be really great, no? Pati ako 2012 yung aking Book of Discipline.
Opo, wala na, naubos na daw po sa sa headquarters yung hard copy. Pero may na-download kasi ako online.
Good. Good. That would be good. Okay, so ito yung UMW, the Constitution of United Methodist Women in the Conference, isa sa pinaka organized at functioning na organization ng women natin, United Methodist Women. They're also very powerful. Okay, so next, siguro UMYF. Sige. Yan, the UMM, the Institution of the United Methodist Men in the Conference. No? So we need more involvement among the men. No? Pero buti naman na medyo organization nila na strengthen na. Okay? Yung youth na siguro yan. Baka na-skipan mo na here. Youth na yan eh. Hindi ko napitin.
Relations. Connection now.
Conference. There shall be a conference. Youth. Ano?
Ang pautin yun.
Ayan. Chill on young adult. Yan o. 650. In each annual conference, there shall be a conference council on young adult ministry. Adult naman to. Okay? Sige. Tapos ng women, men, young adult, and then darating na yung youth dyan. In each annual conference, there shall be a conference council on older adult ministries. Okay? Hindi. Sige. And then, yung mga sinasabi ni Pastor Noel kanina na mga optional.
Yes po, maraming yan. Maraming
Native American ministry and Hispanic, Latin.
Tama. Pananag na.
Okay? Ito naman, criminal justice and mercy ministries. Alam ko marami ang ginagawa ngayon ng mga chaplains, no, sa military at saka mga prisons. Okay? Okay. That end because next meeting we'll talk about this. So that ends our session for tonight. I hope we were able to review the annual conference. No?